Hello everybody and welcome to a new video on my channel, where today I'm going to do a full launch and landing to and on Mars. And maybe I can even return back to Earth, but please don't quote me on that. And as I said, it's going to be a full launch and landing, so I'm just going to keep going, not edit any parts out. And I'm going to just talk through it, so you're gonna have to deal with my voice the whole time. I hope that isn't a big problem for any of you guys. Anyway, I'm now switching on the engines. Quite an important factor if you want to go anywhere with the rocket. And as you can see, this is a bit of a Falcon Heavy ID. It's not perfect, and also the way the fuel works isn't perfect. So you'll see me have to transfer fuel like this, and then from the other side booster as well, because otherwise the three boosters would be empty at the same time, which would be weird, and I would already be in orbit. So it's not gonna be very realistic, but well, you're gonna have to deal with it. So here we go. Gonna switch them on in 3, 2, 1, ignition. And liftoff of the Falcon Heavy. And so as you can see, I am now transferring fuel, and I'm already going to look at where we are going exactly as soon as it hits about 1500. I'm going to start turning slightly and just keep turning, not too slow, because if I would be too slow my apoapsis would get very high and that would just not look great. And as you can see, my fuel in my right tank is already getting relatively low compared to the other, and so I'm going to have to switch the one putting fuel into the main tank like this, and I will probably do it again in a bit if that will work, if I still have enough time left to do that. As you can see, we're now getting at around 40 kilometers with our apoapsis, and we are quickly extending our arc to the right for an orbit, basically. You probably have all made an orbit in this game. And if you have not, by the way, I've also made a video on how to do it. So if you can go watch that. I will try to put it in the upper right of your screen. And as you can see, and I switched this off, and so one stayed on a bit longer. Going to decouple these tanks if I can click those things. Okay, and now I'm going to start my middle engines again and keep going. I'm going to actually stop my engines. It's kind of the opposite of what I just said, but it's fine. And I'm going to throw away the fairings. I don't know how to say it properly, but I guess you know what I mean. And I'm going to make this a bit lower, and I'm now just going to wait a bit and time warp until I am at my apoapsis, and I'm going to make a good orbit. Just like so. It's just the basics, right, of making an orbit. Like so. As you can see, I have quite a bit of fuel left in my main tank. And this, by the way, is the little lander we're going to land on Mars with the little landing legs and stuff. So it's very small, but it's a lander, so it's kind of what it's supposed to be. As you can see, I've almost got an orbit, and I've now got an orbit. And it's not perfectly round, but I don't really want or need to, because first of all, it takes time and effort, which I'm lazy, so no. Second of all, it takes fuel, and I want to save a lot of fuel, so when I land I will have way too much fuel, being too heavy, and not being able to land without using the small engine on my lander, which looks very stupid, but I'm still going to have to, because I saved fuel right here. Very logical, right? So now I'm going to zoom out and click on Mars and click navigate to, and I'm going to have to time warp to the transfer window, which is gonna take way too long as always. So I'm probably actually going to edit this part out, so I'll see you in a bit. So here I am, close to the transfer window. I'm going to time warp towards it again. And then I'm going to do the acceleration towards Mars, like always. Gonna have to turn this big rocket, which will take quite a while. It's very boring. So engines on and let's go. Still 650 to go. Oh, and by the way, I just watched the qualifying of the F1 race at Zandvoort, which of course is in my country, in the Netherlands. And tomorrow is gonna be the race, and I'm so excited for the race. But you guys, if you follow F1, already know how the race has ended when you watch this, because it's going to be published on Wednesday, this video, like all my videos, by the way. So yeah. And I'm just here very excited for the race, and you guys already know what it has been. I of course hope that Verstappen is gonna win. Would be kind of great actually for me and my country. And then I believe Verstappen would also pull ahead in the entire championship again. But I've probably just pissed off a lot of people by saying this, because of course if you're from Great Britain you are supporting Hamilton instead of Verstappen. But it's fine, it's fine. Oh, by the way, in the Netherlands we actually pronounce Verstappen as Verstappen, which is his Dutch name and his Dutch pronunciation. If you are wondering how we pronounced it. You probably didn't, but I said it anyways now, so deal with it. And so I'm now time warping, as you can see, and for some reason I still have my first stage booster, my first stage middle booster, because I just have way too much delta V on this rocket. Which basically means I will probably be able to return back home to Earth. So yeah, I'll see how it goes. And I will just leave my second stage behind in Mars orbit when I'm going to land my rocket. So that's hopefully gonna work. I don't know for sure. And I'm gonna have to do a rendezvous then, of course. Almost at my periapsis. I'm now going to decelerate to make an orbit. I really don't know how I still have fuel left in this lower stage. It's actually really weird. But it's also kind of a good thing, I guess. Even though it's not realistic, we do have a lot of delta V, which is always great when you want to go to, I don't know, Venus or something. Because you need quite a lot of delta V for that. Why is my rocket turning? I didn't even click on buttons, or I did probably by accident. As you can see, the fuel has now almost run out, which is great actually. It's not normally something I would say is great, but in this case it is. And just a bit more deceleration and I will be in an orbit. This one I am going to make a bit more round, and probably I'm going to lower it a bit for the rendezvous that I'm maybe going to do. Oh, see, there goes my fuel. Finally. About time. Engine on, and here we go again in 3, 2, 1. Blast. I think I'm going to go to about. Wait, hold on, I switched on the wrong engine, I think. Because I have two little engines. Oh gosh. I have two engines on this. Like this, only the big one. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so I'm right about at 200. So I can now go to this periapsis and lower my apoapsis as well. And again, this is all just stuff a lot of people have done or will do. It's not that hard, it's just a bit of making an orbit. And as I said, if you haven't made an orbit yet, if you haven't gotten into orbit, then please watch my video on how to do it. Helps me out and you, so it's a win-win. And as you can see, I'm now quite low, so I'm going to decouple my lander, which I've connected in kind of a Apollo, what you want to call it, Apollo kind of thing, kind of way, so that the nose of my lander is pointing towards my second stage, in this case second stage. And now I'm going to decouple it, turn around, and use my little engine to get my periapsis into the atmosphere of Mars. Like so, 8 kilometers is about right. I might get it to 7 actually, just to be sure, because I don't want to fly out of the atmosphere again. And then I'm going to time warp. Not too much, okay, no, this is fine. And now I'm gonna have to wait until I'm low enough to deploy the parachute. I'm gonna deploy deploy the landing legs, geez, English, just to maybe get a bit of deceleration, extra deceleration. And just like this, you can see that my apoapsis is getting lower and my periapsis as well. Sadly, I cannot time warp anymore because we are already quite low. We are below 15 kilometers. But as you can see, we are close to the surface of Mars. My voice just cracked 2 times in a row. That's a bit of a problem with being this age that I am. It's quite annoying. But I mean, everybody has it, so... But I also don't really understand why it is. The voice cracks, it's just a weird something. And as you can see, this arc is now getting smaller. I'm sorry if I don't talk all the time. It's just because I sometimes also need to breathe a bit. If I don't, you know, it's a problem. We're now at a height of 6,300 meters, which is a very annoying number for me to pronounce with the th in it, which I'm Dutch, so I can't pronounce like every Dutch people. But I mean, it's kind of a fair trade-off because, for example, the one corner in Zandvoort, the name of it you guys can't pronounce, so we all have our little things that we can't pronounce, right? Oh, as you can see, it's now starting to turn, which is... Oh wait, I can already deploy the parachutes, didn't even notice. And I actually only have 1 parachute in this rocket, so this means that I am going to have my engine, I have to use my engine just a little bit to slow us down to at least below 12 meters per second to be able to land safely without breaking landing legs. As you can see, the parachute has just fully deployed, which means we are going to slow down even more, but as you can see, we're not getting way lower than 18.5 meters per second right now speed-wise, so that's a problem. But as I said, I'm going to have to compensate using my engine. Like this, and a bit more like that, and it bounced. Oh my god, no, 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 why? Oh no, my docking port broke. Well, that's a problem. Okay, hang on, how am I going to do this? Because I still want to continue this mission instead of just restarting. I think I'm going to have to retract this landing leg. And hopefully it will get a bit more straight. And yes, it will. No, it won't. Yes, it will. Yeah, okay. I'm going to now launch back up and hopefully be able to get to Earth without using any of my fuel from my second stage, and just not using my whole second stage either anyway. By the way, why did that just glitch? I can't play this back, but if you are on YouTube, play it back, because it fully glitched into the ground for a second there. Okay, well, doesn't matter. Anyways, let's just be happy for a moment that we did land on Mars, which was the first part of our mission, and hopefully we're able to get back. Let's see. So yeah, let's go. Put our engines up and go in 3, 2, 1, blast off. And for some reason I am not ascending. Why am I not ascending? Wait, hang on. Because I should be able to get up. Yeah, okay, I think it was because the landing legs were glitched into the thing again. Or still actually, so that's very weird. I feel like this game sometimes has a couple glitches that really shouldn't happen, like real weird glitches. But I mean, the game is still playable. It's not that it makes it really unplayable or unpleasant to play. And it's still one of my favorite games, don't get me wrong. So I still enjoy it, but it just has some little things that are not, well, not perfect. As you can see, we are ascending. I have stopped accelerating because I don't want I don't want me apoapsis too high. But now I can accelerate, time warp, get to my apoapsis and make a orbit, which of course this whole thing is quite easy on Mars because you don't have all too much gravity or atmosphere to slow you down. So almost in orbit and in an orbit. And now I do not have a lot of liquid fuel left. And this is a problem because this means that we won't be able to get back to Earth. Yeah, so this mission isn't fully gonna work. But I hope you guys still find it. Anyway, no, I'm not going to just say this mission hasn't worked. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to do this whole mission over. And I will pick you guys up right where we left off here, but then with our docking port. So sadly that is a bit of editing, but I guess you guys won't really find it too awful just because I am now completing the mission, which is better than not doing it without editing. So yeah, I'll see you guys when I've done this mission again. So I've done the entire mission again, and I am now in Mars orbit again after landing. As you can see, I do still have docking port this time, but also you can see that I have indeed landed on Mars just because my parachute is deployed, which you can't do in a vacuum. But you will see that we have quite little fuel left, and we still need to dock to our other stage. So we need to try to not waste a lot of fuel. By the way, just in case I do waste too much fuel, I am going to create a quick save. By the way, these quick saves I didn't actually use for this mission. These were quick saves for the missions I did with my Mars station. If you haven't watched those, I will put the first episode in your upper right, in the upper right of your screen. So what should I call it? I don't know. Mars docking. Yeah, just Mars docking. And I'm now going to have to wait till I catch up with the other stage. So I'm going to keep time warping a bit. And hope that I, get to the right point compared to the first stage. Or it's actually the second stage, but it's fine. And it does look like I am going to get quite close. I'm probably not going to be able to see it on the map just yet. Let's actually try to just make this a bit smaller and intersect earlier already. No, it's not going to be enough. So I need to go like this and go even more towards the beginning. I'm going to keep time warping, and as you can see, I am going to get real close to it. Let's see if I can see it on the map. And yes, I can. It's in the left of your screen, right about at my recording sign. It's coming towards me beautifully. I'm going to actually time warp. I hope you are able to see it now. It maybe was a bit hard at first. I'm going to have to turn around and make sure I am not moving way too fast compared to the other stage. And make sure it's coming to me slightly. And I just accidentally hit the engine on button because I thought it was on still and I wanted to put it off, but it was off, and so I put it on. I don't know if you understood that, but it's fine. It wasn't very important anyway. And I just did the same thing again. Wow! But it did kind of turn out well this time because it's coming towards me again. And it's the other way around than I thought, so I'm going to have to make a bit of corrections, because I of course need to dock to it, and as you can see my fuel is quite low, but I think I will make it fuel wise. I will be able to dock to it before my fuel fully runs out. And as you can see, it's now coming towards me quite fast, but I think it will be fine. And yes, it will. Why did it just not dock? It should have docked. So now I'm going to have to just wait a bit, I guess, and do like this and hope it will dock this time. Maybe I was moving too fast. I don't know if that matters for if it will dock you. Oh, why is it not docking? No, this is not correct. It should already have docked me. It's probably some weird problem because I have a parachute in it, but normally this would work. I even tested it already. And this should work. Maybe if I really push them together, it will work. Like so. I'm now putting thrust on it, and no, it's not working still. Well, this is very confusing because I actually tested this and it did work before, but now it isn't working. I think it has something to do with that my parachute is now deployed, and last time I tested it, it was not deployed. So probably just doesn't work, and I should build another rocket if I want to try this again, or another lander. But I'm too lazy, and so you're probably gonna have to do it with this. But as you can see, if I would have been able to dock, I would perfectly have made it home, because this almost says 100% in still. I can switch to it actually. You can see that it has no control, and I wanted to check how much fuel is in it, but in the bottom left you can see that it still has a lot of fuel. And so I would have easily made it home, but for some reason I can't dock. So that's what you're gonna have to do it with. I'm kind of disappointed actually by it not docking. I don't know why it's not docking. Docking, I don't know. Pronunciation is hard again. I'm Dutch, so yeah. So that's kind of an abrupt end to this video. But of course this was kind of a different video than normal. It's more of like just gameplay with me talking instead of tutorials and stuff like that. So if you enjoy this type of videos from me, then please let me know in the comments. And also give this video a like to show me that you, well, liked the video. And then I will see you all in the next one. And of course also if you have questions or video ideas, leave them in the comments as well. Just everything you want to say to me in the comments, you can leave there. That's what they are for. So anyways, if you enjoyed, I hope to see you all in the next one. And oh, by the way, very important thing, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, right? Most important thing for me, it helps me out a lot. And you get to watch more of my content, which I hope is a good thing for you. And if it's not, then why would you subscribe? Anyway, I hope to see you all in the next one. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.